Boom. You ready?
Could be ready
Yes, sir.
Take time, get everybody back into flow here.
Whoa, everybody got a good stretch.
Well, you better be ready. Let me share screen. Where am I here?
I think that's what I'd say, and everybody enjoyed that one.
Oh, fact. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir. I can.
All right, let me double check, see if everybody's back before I kick off here. I'm waiting on Darren. That's pretty much it, is it? All right, give it another minute. We want to be pretty tight with time because obviously the events run on and then they fucking start getting draining. Right, perfect. So good to go, Stephen?
Yes, mate. Let's do it.
Right, perfect. So pretty much we're going to go through client roadmaps. Now, I ran a brief training on this, very, very short, condensed, about how to move one-to-one in-person clients slowly to online. Now, this is going to cover this, but in much more detail, and this is for online coaching as well. So it covers all our bases. I wanted to do this in much more detail because I do feel like there's such a hard promise for leads in the industry and marketing. And the main issue is it's actually not the amount of leads we're getting, it's the management of leads. So if you can keep your clients for 2 years, instead of 12 weeks, you need roughly 8 to 10 times less clients. So this is one of the reasons why I've built up my price. I've managed to build a massive recurring model, is because when you break things down, if you're losing clients every 6 months and I'm keeping them for 2 years, I need 4 times less sales. If you're losing clients every 12 weeks, you need 4 times the clients I need a year. So it creates this problem with leads because you need this constant influx because the service, it's not always that the service isn't good enough. It's the fact that you're using the wrong tactics, techniques, and tools to get you there. So as always, my business is built off retention. It's built off recurring. It's the easiest model. It means you get better results because they stay longer. And client roadmaps is one thing that I just never see coaches do. And it's such a game changer. So start with why. As I said, so what is the reason we need roadmaps? Like, is this not extra hassle for us? And it's because if you have no vision, no value, no reason to stay. And when you really break that down, you think about it, right? If you've no vision, they don't know where the fuck they're going. They're not really sure what value they're getting. And then they've no real reason to stay on board past 3-6 months because they're just driving into the fucking wilderness. They won't trust the game plan. A lot of the time coaches know where the client's going, but the client doesn't fucking know. There's no point saying that we'll just chip on and take a check-in. They need a game plan. You can see it, they probably can't. So making sure to reaffirm this with them is key. So communicate clearly at check-ins when you're talking to them where they are going. Otherwise, you're gonna take them one direction that they don't even fucking want to go. And people will change. I'm sure many of you have maybe had a physique goal and then now it's more business focused. So then fitness complements your life rather than complicates it. Whereas maybe you used to fucking weigh every bit of bread you ate. So different areas and different stages of the life is very key. You might have a goal for somebody, but then they have just had a child or they're having issues in a relationship, not the best time to die. But then communicating that clearly will stop them burning out. So day one, this starts at the very start. An overview of their first 6 to 12 months. If anyone has chatted to me at all in DMs or anything, you will notice, where is A? Where is B? Where do you want to be in 6 to 12 months? It's not where do you want to be in 6 to 12 fucking minutes. It's a long term. Get that framed into people. And before you really worry about it, don't spook them. Don't make it sound like they're fucking here for life. It just needs to be relaxed. Like, where do you want to be in 12 months? Where would you like to be? It doesn't mean they're always with you, but it reframes them that they're there. You don't want to make it feel like, right, where do you want to be in 5 years and we're still working together and you're paying me? Like, no. But no game plan is worse than spooking them. So make it sound normal. Look, with all clients, I get an idea of where they're going to be in 12 months' time. I want you to give me a vision. And then we're going to go there. So, for example, whenever you start off the roadmap, I would usually start off, most people will know how I work. Now, this will be individualized to you. This will be personal. It's one of these things. I just want to check the chat. This was the biggest game changer for your retention. Dargan, couldn't agree more. For example, right, we're focusing on tidying up body fat for the first initial 12 weeks. This will be called the foundation phase. This is what I do with all my clients. From here, we'll move into lean gaining, an enjoyable approach to show you how to maintain leanness while adding tissue to your weak points and give you a more impressive physique as you're limited with building muscle deficit. So it shows them they're not getting the full result in 12 weeks. So that frames there's more to get. This phase is then to show you flexibility, a more relaxed approach and how fitness should complement your life, not complicate it. This phase is usually 3 to 6 months minimum. So you're already framing them 6 to 9 months, and you talk through this, right? And I'm going to explain how you break all this down with them. But the reason that you want to do this is because it builds a more relaxed approach to getting the result. It takes pressure off you, it takes pressure off them. It shows it's long term, and you're exciting them because now you're talking about how they're not just going to be grinding away with cardio and steps. You talk about during that time, I motivate and prime them for a convo about a big goal. So a photo shoot or whatever matters to them, triathlon, pushing business, making sure fitness complements your life, whatever the fuck it is. Even if it's just getting better balanced, look, we're going to go for a meal out every single week and you're still going to stay in shape. We're going to make sure you can go out twice a week. Joe, whatever it is, you can eat that takeaway of the week and still stay in shape and get the balance you want. You can line these out any way you want, or Excel, or format it by a document. I don't care if you do it by Loom video with slideshows like this, or if you use an Excel document. You do what works for your business. Like if you're in True Coach and you're not using Excel, don't use Excel. But you could use Excel and Loom video and share that when people are on board. And the thing is, you need to decide if you want to do this for every single individual client, or if you want to have like rough template guides for, say, people that are the normal client you get, that is Joe Wicks. They come in, they're a wee bit chubby, they need to lose weight and then lean gain, just like I did. Like that's pretty much all my clients do that same thing. So I could use the same fucking roadmap. However, if you get somebody who's 150 kilos, 140 kilos, big person, Joe, their fat loss phase might last longer, but I just highlight the importance of individualizing. So you can line these out any way you want. So you can do this by Excel, Loom video, but this is roughly the way I break things down. I explain it to people, right? And when you think about this, like phase 1, 4 to 12 weeks, sometimes it's longer, sometimes it's shorter, 4 months, really, 3 to 4 months. Then this phase is going to be anything from 3 months, which is too short, to 9 months. So there's already the first year gone. And then advanced that down for shoots. So we're already at 1.5 years before you even reversed out of the big goal. So this frames them. Now, you don't want to spook the fuck out of them, but it highlights them. There's a roadmap. This is how you get results. And you always want to be referring back to the game plan, but they must agree with it. Ask them, does it still suit? Now, if you tell people the day they join, they're doing a photo shoot, everybody goes, fuck that, this cunt wants an Instagram photo. I only bring it up after the lean gaining phase. I only bring it midway through, whenever they've built the faith, they've built the result. Somebody's standing there in their knickers and they don't feel confident, and you're talking about photo shoots, it's the worst thing you can do because you're going to spook them. So time and place, very important. So focus on the phase you're in and the next phase. So never talk about the over big goal at the very end during your initial 4 weeks, because you're going to worry them, you're going to stress them out. So breaking things down, it's not a dictatorship, it's a partnership. I have loads of clients, I mentioned photo shoots too, and they go, and they start sounding a bit, and I go, no worries, look, it's no problem at all. I just throw it out there as a goal. What would be a good goal for you? Let's go back and forth. Let's get you some motivation. Let's set some lifts. Let's set what you want your life to look like. And it's really, really key that you get that fucking crystal clear. Some people want balance. Some people want results. Some people just want somebody to fucking talk to. And it's up to you what line you walk. I don't care if somebody wants just to check in with me and make sure they're all right in a mental balance and they pay me my full whack. It's no hassle by me. Some people don't want to listen to other people's problems. You decide what you want. You explain the rough roadmap and how most clients go through this with you. Very important. And get a fucking review. Ask them, does this look like something you want, or what way do you want to tailor this? Because it's all personalized to you. We have to make sure it suits your level. If they agree, always refer her to the next phase is the best one. So excite the fuck out of them. Nobody wants to just dat and bulk and dat. Once we're done dat, I can't wait, because you need to try out fucking Dean's Meat Locker in Belfast, and we need to get your calories high so you can go there on a fucking weekly basis. And then, Joe, if you're a single young lad, so you can go back out in the dating scene, lean, ripped, and keep your abs while also going on holidays. And then they're like, I'm going to show you how to maintain the abs and get bigger, stronger, fill out your weak points while looking fucking unreal. And you're not going to have to do all this shitty cardio. And then they're like, fuck, that sounds unreal. Why the fuck would I leave? Joe, whereas if you never talk about that, it fucks them over. So, as I said here, wait till you see when we are done. We build your calories up. You enjoy downtime, build muscle, relax. It's the best part, and all people just miss it. Phase 2, explain that. This week, we want to have a meal off balance. So start layering up how to improve the quality of life. Look, we're focusing on this. We're focusing on that. Hype them up like, fuck, during this, I can't wait to see you lean back down. Wait till you see the fucking muscle you're going to have. There's going to be women hanging off you whenever you're away on holidays. It's going to be fucking bonkers. Or your girlfriend's going to need to get a fucking leash to keep a hold of you because there's going to be so many. Just, like, I just joke around with people, and I find that motivates the fuck out of them. Joe, it's one of these things where you tailor it to you, but also you don't have to hype them up too much. So there's a balance. You can go, look, I'm so excited to see your shape whenever you lean back down. And so on. forever. The more you get good at this long term, the better. So, for example, see, after I do one shoot, I go, right, let's get some moderation, let's get some balance, let's just do a long lean gaining phase for 6 to 9 months, enjoy a quality of life, a balance. And then by the time 6 to 9 months is gone, 2.5 years, and I go, let's just dial in for an 8-week cut. And then I'm doing another shoot, and you got more social proof, more results. They trust you, they see a better result. It just ever loops. Now, you might not be a photo shoot person, but the goal could be different for you. The key is constantly leveling up, making sure there's more levels to the game. And remember, you might be thinking, oh, this is hassle. This is no roadmap, no vision, no value, no future, no fucking coaching, and you're not going to make any money and you're going to be sad. So for the little bit of groundwork this takes, it's a fucking game changer. Now, you can make this visual using Excel, as I said, or you can explain it on board and by Loom, but always do it. Really key. Now, I'm going to show you an example. Now, we had a rough one here. I used this before, but I'm going to see, can I get the other version? So we've got this done up. Now, this might look pretty fucking intense, right? But this is really just sort of the one I use with my coach in a minute, right? Now, we're going to try and give you copies of this. Now, you're going to tailor this yourself. Can everybody see this? Yes? Stephen, you all right with this? Can you see that? You can see that? Yeah. Just want to make sure.
Sorry. Yeah. Well, I can't see the Excel. Have you got the Excel sheet up? No.
Give me a thumbs up if you can see the Excel, or if you're, what are you seeing on the screen, people? So just let me know if you can see like an Excel roadmap example.
I'm just seeing your PDF. Maybe stop sharing and resharing.
No problem. One momento.
Yeah, I think it's. Oh no, it's weird. I just unshare and reshare. And there you go. Yep. Perfect.
Yeah.
So this is an example roadmap. Majority of my clients get this. Me and my coach went through this. Now, this will seem like, oh my God, this is so intense. This is pretty much the same for everyone. Now, the difference is I have dates because I'm doing a proper hardcore diet. And now, this is a wee bit intense, but you can layer this out yourself. So, for example, we plan, whenever I first joined my coach, right, in August 2021, he had the first 18 months lined out to January. He had so long lined out that I was like, sweet mother Christ, this is overwhelming. But it immediately frames me that I'm not going anywhere. So really, really key. All right. So long-term framing shows that you know what you're doing. So whenever you look at this, right, this is my first half of the year. So if you look at this, we have weeks out from the end of that. So I knew I was doing like a 17-week diet. So January, the whole way through until April 29th. But does it finish around April 29th? No, continues on. Now, I highlight to people roughly because I'm quite strategic, but like, for example, they're training, look, you're going to do a diet and meso cycle. So you're going to do 4 weeks of hard training. We're going to roughly try and lose 0.5 to 1% of body weight a week. Your expenditure is roughly going to follow this. It might be more. Critical reminders, Joe, you've maybe got fucking a wedding here. You've got this here. We can plan all that in together. Roughly this week, you're going to deload and go to maintenance for a diet break. So if you have any trips you want to plan, please try and plan them during here. It allows them to go, fuck right, that's the one that makes sense. I'll go on holidays here. Now, this might seem a bit intense. Diet and meso 2 steps, and then all of a sudden you'll see it continually progress. Now, you might be thinking, this is too much, this is too much, this is extreme, this is extreme. You can literally keep the exact same one for males v females. A majority of your clients are going to be the same. And you could have this just 1 week to 12 weeks. You can tailor it as you want. You can just do the phases like I said. But whenever you see something like this, right, we will plan realistically, say, successful reverse lean gaining. We'll go from June into July into August. So there's 9 months of coaching where I've done a diet and a reverse phase. And I'm not even thinking about leaving in August because it's all pre-planned. You know what I mean? And if you look at this focus specific discussion, all this stuff is outlined, the goal date, it makes it very specific to the individual. And I find that whenever you get a roadmap, it allows the person to walk alongside you. You know, they're getting told when their training's adjusted, when their cardio is getting implemented. Now, obviously, you cannot periodize every this because if you get somebody to join and they're a useless fucker, then you need to explain to them, look, we're going to have to repeat week 1 to 4 because this hasn't been nailed and you've not lost the 4% of body weight or whatever it is, because it's all science anyway. Now, do you need to add in what your diet and what your expenditure is, what all this is? No, but you could add in roughly diet and block, deload, steps. That's it, Joe. It doesn't have to, it's what suits your target demographic. So tailor this to suit you. If you overwhelm people with too much data, they will switch the fuck off. I coach mainly coaches, so I have to sort of deliver a little bit above and beyond 9 times out of 10. Otherwise, they think, what the fuck's going on? Versus for most people, a simple week out of how long they're dieting, roughly what's happening with nutrition, just deficit training, diet, meso, and steps will outline to people, right, roughly what's expected. It allows them to frame themselves too. And you don't even have to do it long term, but you could just do diet and mesos for 2 blocks for 10 weeks, then into phase 2 lean gaining, and that could be 30 weeks, Joe, down into final goal. You plan all this out yourself. Now, this will seem very intense, but honestly, it's one of them ones where it's really, really key. Now, I am going to go back to my slides.
Couple of cues there, T, in the chat.
Yeah, let me just see where we are. Perfect, right. Do you recommend a diet break for everyone? No. Research backs, if you don't know if you've ever seen a study of Japanese morbidly obese people, this is really strange. They took these, excuse my French, these massive, massive individuals of like 140 kilos. Not in saying that you can't be 140 kilos and lean, but anyway, these extremely large individuals, and they put them on 800 calories for a year. No diet breaks, 800 calories in a lab, tested to save their lives because they were literally going to drop. They lost weight every single fucking week because you cannot downregulate your metabolism to lower than 800. They made them walk for an hour or two or something. These people went from morbidly obese practically much to anorexic. Like literally, that is the difference in it. So do you physiologically need a deload or diet break? No, not really. Studies also back that if you were to do, say, every 4 weeks, take a diet break, and you were to diet, say, instead of 10 weeks, you dieted 16 with a diet break and the week in between, you will lose generally very close amounts, right? You will look better, in my opinion, if you do implement diet breaks because it washes off mental and physical fatigue. That's why comp preps, photo shoot preps, you don't want to just drill for 12 weeks. You ideally want 16 weeks, every 4 weeks diet break. It just allows the person to have higher calories, sort their head out and move forward. It also allows you, the number one most important thing is when they fuck up, that counts as that week. Really, really important. Do I recommend diet breaks? If you time, I would highlight it and be like, look, this is a bit of a balance. How much? Very individualized. Female on 1600 calories, you need to remember bumping her to 2000. That's over 25% of calories. A male going from 1800 to 2500 is massive. So diet breaks sometimes, like personally, I don't actually love them. Yes, it can help with fatigue, but it still feels like I'm dieting, so I'd rather just get the fucker done. Hopefully that makes sense. Liam, would you call it quits at 9 months mapped out? And when would you update it, plan further outline? I would do it as you go and as it feels needed. I honestly think you just balance it yourself. I do feel like 9 months is like a really nice middle ground, to be honest, of where they're at. You can balance it yourself. Like I really just outline, I find that I do a cut and then the lean gaining phase, and that's really what I'm after. And I sort of try and freeze that 9 month period, but most people then stay and I throw in extra goals then during that period, the first month or two of lean gaining. You update it as often as you want. You plan it further as often as you want. You outline them because their goals can change. So you might have to add in 4 weeks, 6 weeks and tailor it. But if you've got the one template and if you're sick of using Excel and you're sick of that sort of thing, you can literally just use a roadmap with PowerPoint and explain this is the way most of my clients go. We will tailor this, but this is the rough guideline of what brings a result. And then you would filter in maybe 5 different results to a mum, a young lad, a young woman, a busy person, and go, these all follow this same sort of method. So this is what we're going to do. It's the Tony McAleedy method. It's 4 to 12 weeks diet and then followed by this. So they've got a game plan in their head, but it shows that it works for everyone and you've got proof in the pudding because then you're showing results. So I do feel like a presentation thrown into your Loom videos at the start for your onboarding is a really strong way to do this. Marcus, when you finish diet break, do you pick up where you left off or diet again for maintenance? You pick up from where you left off because they shouldn't be any heavier. If they've fucked about and they've got fatter or you diet break them too hard. Diet break can be anything from 3 days, which is probably more of a refeed, 3 to 5 days, up to 14 days. It can help regulate ghrelin, hunger hormones, all that can happen. But realistically, I would just hammer on. I don't think there's any need for to wait about. For a diet break, could you suggest not calorie counting, but just don't take the piss over this? Still need. It depends on your target demographic. I honestly think intuitively eating is a load of balls unless you're training 10 years. If you told me to, I'm quite hardcore diet. If you told me to intuitively eat right now, I would literally go downstairs and eat anything I can get my fucking hands on. I am that hungry. It's going to be like, oh, I'm fatigued. I'm mentally exhausted. Oh, I just need a bit of a break. People will sell themselves a story of what they want. So personally, that would be me straight as fuck with that. I feel like they should still track calories until somebody's trained a couple of years because they don't know what's in what. Like if you look at like salsa versus mayonnaise, you realize the amount of calorie fucking difference. So it's personal choice. If your clients want just a break mentally from tracking, that's fine. But then give them rules: 3 meals a day, no junk food, 5 fruit, 5 veg. Still give rules. And then Dargan will run through this, and I'll dive into anything else. Ask, I'd love you to touch on how to frame it your clients in debt free as I redrinking that have this built in. Feel like this holds clients back, but it comes down to my expectation of how to frame it early doors. So do you mean by, just so we get crystal clear on this, do you mean how I frame that they're not supposed to eat out loads, or?
Yeah, exactly that. Not to eat out loads, drinking. In my eyes, if I can get all of my clients to win their weekend, it's a fucking guaranteed banging result, because most of them Monday to Friday is A1, but it ultimately comes down to how I framed it and framed the expectations when they've started. You know, it's like walking the line between dictatorship and being too hard line, and giving them a balance as well. So, you know, because, sorry, go ahead.
No, I think that's perfect. That's got me exactly what I need. First thing I framed to all my clients is that Instagram has blown up because every cunt in the country is talking about balance and sustainability. Dating should not be sustainable. The word die is in dating. It should be short, sharp, condensed, and it should be a strict time period where the quicker and the more aggressive you are, the shorter you're going to be in it. So you can decide right now with me if you want a more balanced approach into that for 20 plus weeks, or if you want to go hardcore for 10, or the middle ground. You walk the line, I'll walk it with you. We tailor the approaches needed to the individual. Tom, that's fucking busy, flat out work, might need the slower, steadier approach. Somebody like me, I can't be fucked with that. If you told me I was down for 20 weeks, I'd shoot myself. So I prefer hardcore in, quick and out. So it's finding the individual basis. It's also setting standards for people. Like, you have that rule of never 2 bad meals back to back. If you win the weekend, you win the week. So making sure, say I see any client that's fucking about with me, they have to do a weigh-in on a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday morning. Saturday, Sunday, Monday morning, weigh-in and photos. And I don't care. And I know rightly that doubles down their accountability. You win the weekend, you win the week. But I set the standard. I'm like, look, honestly, see, during my dating phases, I just expect you to lock in, get it done, limit the amount you're eating out. I'll walk that line with you. But the stricter you are, the quicker we get this done, the more we can move forward. And then see, when I get you lean gaining, drink, eat out, meals out, balance, way more relaxed. But I would rather dad hard for 8 weeks and then enjoy 40 odd plus of the weeks, rather than this, like, where you're so worried about eating 1,800 calories to balance in a couple pints of the weekend for 30 weeks. Like, that is not sustainable, and that's going to slow down, because we're going to spend all your time fucking dieting, and that sucks balls. So that's my thought process, but that is my client base. If your client is more relaxed, you tailor that around them, but you need to set the standards and the expectations you expect of your clients and then adhere to that. So for me, it's like, strict during dieting phases, relaxed all the rest of the year. That's what I tell everybody. And when they start fucking about during dieting phases, I say to them bluntly, I'm like, this isn't the standard we hold you to. That makes sense?
Makes perfect sense.
Rules of engagement for them. Rules like, you must never have 2 meals back to back. You must kneel Saturday, Sunday. You only want to drink once a month when we're at. And Joe, rules. Like, otherwise, if they don't adhere to them, you're probably not going to get a result. And if you don't make the rules, you just tell them how it is. If you want to break the rules, that's fine, but it'll be a longer process. So hopefully that answers that. Yeah, Dan, okay. Like the balance between not living like a monk. Yeah, see, the problem is you go too hard on these people and then they disengage because they're living like a monk. But if you aren't accountable to them, and I say it all the time, you are paying me for accountability to pursue. If I don't get your result, you are going to fuck off and say I'm shit. Whereas the emphasis isn't on me. It's on you. I'm doing everything right. It's just the adherence. Versus if you turn around to it and you're saying, I'll go out of the weekend, balance your calories, and this person isn't losing weight and isn't seeing a result, that looks worse. Looks like you don't have a fucking clue. Okay. You're gonna we'll keep running through this, and then we'll do the rest of the questions. There's not much left anyway. I always keep things really, really to the point anyway. So you can use Excel, as I was saying. This is originally what that looked like. So you can be more condensed. It can be heavier. Really, really simple. You do it with slides, whatever. I do recommend Loom for a lot of people. I think Excel will overkill a lot of people. The only good thing about Excel is if somebody fucks up or you have to adjust this, it's super easy. But even just having a roadmap for your clients, if they're moving one-to-one from 1 session a week in person, or sorry, from 2 sessions a week in person to 1 to online, how long, time periods, it frames people. Treat like there is levels and they're improving, and next phase they will get better and have a better quality of life. So I call it foundation. Nobody wants to be in the foundations for life. You'll see people call it junior, intermediate, world class. So right now we're in the junior phase. There's a reason we use colors, Joe. You could use it whatever you want to call it, Joe. It's as simple as it's so easy. White belt, whatever you want that keeps it in your head. And it's not always a one size fits all, but you can have a few versions. Make it tailored to your niche, your audience. Don't fuck about, and don't skip this. Retention is the biggest driver of money in business. It's the least effort with clients. They get the best results. They refer the most. and you don't have to fucking acquire them, which means less sales calls, more money banked. And getting a new sales great, £800 at the door. Keeping somebody for 2 years makes you fucking way more. And yeah, we had questions at the end, so we pretty much rolled through that. But we had one or two there, so yeah, we'll run through these. Cameron, you had a question?
Yeah, Tony. First off, the roadmap is absolutely fucking fantastic. Like, I've used that kind of process, but mentally, the fact that we have that now for spreadsheet is just fucking next level, mate. So thank you very much for that. So something that I find with some clients is, obviously you said there about the study done in Japan. Something I find with some clients is that if I go too hard with them on calories, they can't emotionally and mentally cope with it. So I currently have a client, and she done very, very intensive training before, and I've really, really struggled to get her to separate emotions from food. But she's harping at me to get better and do better results. She wants to book a photo shoot. She's nowhere near ready. But I have her at like 1,000 calories right now. She's only doing 3 weight training sessions a week. I'm trying to motivate her to do more cardio. She can't do it, and she's asking for more and more of me. And I'm sitting at this point going, do I just put this woman on 800, 600 calories just to get this result that she's demanding for? Or what is the best approach for me to go around this? Because she's like, I've had to emotionally support her as well. It's been tough.
So straight away, I can tell by the tone of your voice you don't like this person. So straight away, this is an energy drain. Nothing is worth, nothing, no amount of money is worth your energy. So I would probably, I would lay ground rules. The reason this has happened is not her fault, it's yours. So take responsibility for it. You've not laid clear boundaries, strategies, rules, and standards for how your clients to operate. So first things first, I don't diet females lower than X amount. Simple as that. If you want to lose more weight, you do more steps, you do more cardio. I do not bring your calories lower than X amount. That is the standard. If you want to lose more weight and you're not willing to do the cardio, the steps, you have to take time away from dieting. You don't like that, you can suck on the back of them and slide on, because that's not going to work anyway. All I'm going to do is just take your money. You're not going to get a result, and you're going to badmouth me because you didn't listen to me. The problem is now you're trying to adhere to her game plan. You're letting her coach herself. She is paying you to take that effort away. So strategy, standards are key. So for me, I'm dieting somebody all the time. I get my clients, if anybody's ever been on me, whenever we're dieting, I go, right, rate your food, rate your steps, rate your cardio 1 to 10. If anybody rates anything above a 7 or 8, that's out. Doesn't get adjusted anymore. And I go, that is out. So you have to lean in with the others. When everything hits 8, I go, look, that's fat loss done. Some people will only get 40 minutes cardio because they've not built the work ethic. Some people will grind until there's no tomorrow. You have to be very careful. You don't want to be known as the coach that gives people 1,000 calories either. There's a very fine line there, and you're starting to look at hormonal imbalances. Once a female is under probably 1,200 calories, you're depending on her weight or height or structure, you're looking at implications with the menstrual cycle. That might all sound good for a photo, and to get her a result, that will come back to bite you in the arse long term. People talk. And then she won't even have the result. It's the person, it's the individual bias. So for me, you need to, one, frame expectations with her, what is possible. The reason she's upset is because you've let her frame her own expectations. You need to frame exactly what it is. I've had loads of clients join me with eating disorders, and the first thing I do is I go, you are not doing a dieting phase. Nah, like you're building up calories to 2,000. I want pictures of meals. This is what happens. If you're not happy with that, you can easily go somewhere else, because it's not going to work. That is the way I work this. That is simple. That's where it needs to become a partnership and more dictatorship. You're letting her drive the car. That's the problem. So that is straight up what it is. You're saying about emotional support. No, that is normal with clients. The problem is it's draining you because it's not what you want to do. You can't be just drilling calories. She's lazy if she'll only do 3 days of weights a week and she'll do cardio, because 1.4% of your week is weights. That's 3 weight sessions for an hour is 1.4%. And yet she's willing to eat 800 calories. So she has issues there. So whether it's therapy or something else, but you just need to set standards, rules, expectations, and frame that to her of what the game plan is. You don't have a game plan lined out for her, and that's why she's just running rampant.
No, that's perfect. That's perfect, because that's exactly, John, I was expecting that type of an answer, which just gives me the confidence that know that I am doing exactly what I should be doing with her.
Yeah, no, sort the calories out and tell her it's a long game, not a short game. And she's getting short term, like she's getting fuck all. She's just, she needs more confidence in you. So I'd just be outlining what needs to happen and outline the future and where she's going right now and what's going to happen, and then outline what needs to happen to move forward.
Yeah, perfect.
She needs to take some short-term pain of increasing calories and sucking it up to then get a result in the long run. And Eamon, you have a question.
literally the question I was going to actually answer. So
Oh, there,
I
you're
put
brave.
more sense there before I answered. Yeah.
Wait, there, you're pure robotic there. Did somebody else get that? What was that?
I did. I had a question, but actually answered it already.
Oh, perfect.
Before,
No problem.
before I got that. All right.
Hold on, Darren, go ahead. Let's shoot.
Thanks, Tony. Just a question about recomping. So I've had 3 male clients sign up the last number of weeks, and basically they were skinny fat essentially. So I was like, right, well, trim down the body fat and then go into more gain and face from there. Now they're all they're all in a deficit, but I would imagine anyway for their height, weight, etc. But the scales are going up. Now, looking at their pictures, to be fair, they do seem to be dropping fat. It just seems to be maybe they're recomping some lost muscle within that. Just a question was, at what point do you ever experience that? And then at what point then would you expect to see the scales go back down once they've rebuilt, say, any lost muscle that they did lose, if that makes sense?
All right, straight off the bat, there is not one individual that will gain weight if they're in a deficit, like consistently week on week, even with a recomp. If you are juiced off your fucking nut on gear, you would still struggle to even hold weight if you're in a dieting phase. So that will highlight the response there. Now, and as we talk about gear and we talk about steroid, like we're talking, these are things where nitrogen impact's going up, where glycogen retention's going up. And this is an enhanced individual and they will still lose weight week on week on week. So for me, their metabolism probably isn't as high as they want. They will get some initial inflammation and nutrient partitioning drop off, and that's what's looking like a recomp. And this is where a lot of coaches fall into we're going to keep you the same weight and we're going to recomp you. It will take you so much longer. And I always say to people, 2 dartboards, 1 dart, fat loss, deficit, hardcore dropping weight, lean gaining, the other one, surplus going up. Always make sure you pick 1 dart and 1 dartboard and you throw it and nail it. Initially, the first week or two, I would frame that as like habits, routines. They're getting glycogen, they're getting inflammation, they're dropping off nutrient partition issues in the midsection, so they're looking leaner. After that, recomp's a load of fucking wet, in my opinion. You're better framing it like, right, you're not dropping now. Yes, photos are looking better, but you're not in a big enough deficit. So the recomp's done. Even the first 6 to 8 weeks of training, see this where people are like, you'll weigh the same. No, don't have. There will be the odd individual you get, like a very big outlier that just doesn't move on the scale weight, and they do change, and that's 1 in a fucking 100, 1 in 200.
But even Tony, if they're sorry for interrupting you, even if they say are coming back from say like a 9-month layoff where they did fuck all training and then come back, you would still see that. Yeah.
Do you know how long it takes for muscle to build? Like, even if it is muscle memory, like your body still has to build the building blocks. Like in a week of training, even if you were Arnold fucking Schwarzenegger and you didn't train and then you came back, like your body literally cannot build MPS. You can't layer the protein blocks that quick naturally, even if they just came straight back. Like it just isn't. You'll see it in photos, but that will literally just train like this, and it'll cut off very soon if they're like a month in. Like 2 to 4 weeks is the most you'll ever get out of that, if even. And for me, I would be like, I wouldn't be keen on their weight staying anyway, because if they were on 1,000 calories, that muscle memory would come back anyway.
Yeah.
So why are you letting them hold weight? Drop the weight, because they're going to look even better then quicker, and you're letting that adaptation phase help you get them the result quicker, rather than let's ride this wave because it's easy.
Simone, there's one of the lads who I had given him, say, I think it was 1,900 calories, and he was eating that, and then he was, as I said, the scales were sort. Now he was probably fucking about at the weekends, but he was sending me his meals and all the rest, and filling his MyFitnessPal, but he started then going a little bit lower than that, and he was starting to get pissed off. He was like, why am I not losing weight here on the scales? Yeah. So I'm sort of, I don't know where to go with that, because I feel like going lower than 1,600, I'm like,
time. I put like my changes this week, last week, my calories are, I can't get any lower at the minute, right? I don't even want to know. I'm not tracking carbs. And all Joe does is look at steps. Doesn't matter where they are. And he just goes, right, you need roughly 3,000 steps per day plus another 45 to 50 minutes cardio for the week. And it goes up. And the minute I can't cope with that, that's fat loss done. People think that they're putting effort in with the calories. The calories are key, but the output's more important. Plus, a person will always look better of high output and higher food than low food and low output. So you have to lean in with that. And the way a person's been eating over the last 6 to 12 months will have regulated their thyroid, their metabolism, also what they've been doing. And like a lot of people take like weeks to get drops. fine with it. That makes sense. And as you
Yeah,
said,
yeah.
probably fucking about the weekends means he is. Simple as that.
Everyone. Thanks, Tony.
You know what I mean? Like yeah, no problem at all. It's just one of them things. If you think your clients may be fucking about the weekend, they are. Dorgan, shoot.
Leads on very well from that last sentence you said. So I've had a client on for quite some time, sitting about 120 kilos. Again, go through his MyFitnessPal, comb through it. Everyone's A1. True coach, he's getting stronger. He's not dropping weight. So if he's not dropping weight, obviously he's not in the deficit. I ask him week on week to get the photos across. He doesn't do it. Goes off the grid for a couple of days, does a check-in, comes back. Some days he drops, some weeks he drops, some weeks he doesn't. And he seems to be happy enough, still trucking along on the program, still paying, but it's not getting the result. It does frustrate me, but there's guys doing it. They're sending me their steps, they're sending me their everything. This guy's not getting the result, and it obviously is frustrating for me. He's happy to continue trucking along, but he's obviously fucking about.
You outline that to him. You're telling me when you need to tell him that. Some harsh, honest truth about the reason why you're doing it is actually kind. Sometimes like it makes the medicine go down smoother if you're like, look, some weeks you're losing weight, some weeks you're not. This doesn't add up. There's something off now. You might be doing it by accident. You might be having a couple of drinks on the weekend. You might be throwing in a little bit of extra sauce. You might be forgetting to track things. You might be nailing everything. But 2 + 2 isn't equal to 4 now. So this doesn't make sense anymore. So we have 2 options. I need you to level things up completely, or we need to dial out and give you a bit of a diet break and give you 8 to 12 weeks away from that. And instead of this like middle ground. So we're going out or we're going in. Now, if we go out, doesn't mean anything's fucked up. It just means we're giving you a break. We're regulating your hormones. We're going to focus on building a little bit more muscle, give you a bit more balance. But see this middle ground, mate, this is like no man's land. And this is not where we want to be. So set him standards, expectations to go further. And if he doesn't adhere to them, say we're going to take 8 weeks building up. There's no point just trucking along because eventually he'll just drop off grid.
Yeah. No, 100%. Yeah, and we got clear as well, like blind spots at the weekends, Fridays, Saturdays, and that's why I was like, right, we're ramping up accountability here. Still wasn't getting things through. So yeah, no, again, it's just going back to that honest question and maybe taking that 6 to 8 weeks, building strength and going from there. But I appreciate it.
I would probably give it like I usually what weight was he when he started? What weight's he now?
He was 130. He was 120 now.
Nah, he's got more in the tank. I cut somebody from 130 last year to 104 in the one cut. Give him a target. Give him 115. When you hit 115, we're going to go up.
Okay. A1.
Right. Give him a target. Marcus, shoot, and then we'll wrap this up.
Yeah, Tony. So basically, just how do you is there any sort of tips that you would have for keeping people engaged after they've got the cut? Because sometimes I find people are so used to seeing so many quick changes in the photos each week, when they're doing the cut, and then they're seeing their weight coming down and their measurements are coming down and everything's great. But then when you come into the reverse diet, and obviously I explained to this and outlined to them that muscle building is a whole sort of different beast. It's going to take a lot longer and all. But sometimes I find myself repeating myself in check-ins, sort of looking at the photos from like the previous week and kind of saying, you might not notice too much of a difference between this week and last week and all, and then just keep on re-emphasizing that. But it's just kind of like, do you sort of maybe say, right, we're now chasing maybe numbers in the gym instead, or we're chasing?
You're not pre-planning so what you've got is you've got good at cutting people, but you haven't got good at bulking people. So if you've not been through like an extremely long gaining phase yourself, or you've not done this, you should know how that feels. And it's one of these things where you need to frame that to the individual. So the problem is, see what diet and check-in, you can wing that on the spot. See what bulk and check-in, you will end up repeating yourself week on week and lose the client if you're not putting in any groundwork. So for example, right, I can see you're growing here, and here. Chest isn't really growing as fast as I would like. I would like 3 to 5 form videos and intensity videos. That's my main focus for the week with this. I'm noticing you growing here. I'm noticing this go well. And then, as I said, hype them up for the section they're in. If you're just like letting, oh yeah, your photos look great, and now we're not seeing much progress, but you know, it's all about time, and we're focusing. You need to hype them up and go, you look fucking unreal. You're building muscle. You're staying lean. Oh, this is where people get lackadaisy. You need to be accountable. Like, have 20 check-ins pre-written in your head for bulking that you can go over. Weak point analysis, balance, mindset, link them videos, link them a book, send them a book. Different check-in strategies as you push up. Otherwise, they're going to check in every week and you're going to be repeating the same fucking shit. And they're just going to go, what the fuck am I even here for? He's just adding 100 calories a week.
Yeah,
Versus
that's what I feel like. Yeah.
you need to change your strategy around goals, what you're doing, what you're focusing on. See, a lot of my bulking check-ins are about rinse and repeating, changing week point strategies every 8 to 12 weeks, making sure they're enjoying their life, adding meals off, cooking, getting a bit of crack with them, actually doing a bit of mindset work, diving into whatever they want, what they need, goals. You know, I do a lot more than just bulking with a lot of my clients now, and I feel like that's key because a lot of people are going to lean you. So yes, some check-ins will be boring, but if you're not putting in the groundwork about what your check-ins are going to be focused on each week with the bulkers, you're going to end up just looping and it's going to feel so repetitive and shit. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
So groundwork
Yes,
first.
Thank you.
Yeah, Dorgan, habits, mindset, gainers. Yeah, 100%. Couldn't agree more. Yes, Eamon, if you have a question, let's go and then we'll wrap this up.
Yeah, sorry. I have 3 or 4 clients on at the moment, right? And they're like, they think they need to bulk, but I'm like, you need to lose about 6 kgs of body fat before you try and bulk. And they're like, oh no, I've been skinny all my life, want to put on muscle, but they won't actually buy into what I'm telling them, that they need to be broke down before they can build up, get rid of the body fat first and then build muscle. And they're going against me constantly, and I don't know how to turn
you're giving them options. You're giving them options. No, it's you. I turn around to people, see when they do this, and I go, I'm just going to be straight with you. This is what you have been trying to do. It doesn't work like that. So I am the coach, and if you're a plumber, I don't tell you how to fucking fix the sink. Don't tell me what you need to do. I know where A is. I know where B is. I know how to get you there. See, if we let you dictate where we go, we're going to end up fucking nowhere. And as Liam's literally just wrote in, bang on, I'd give the science behind it, the reasoning. Proof being leaner helps long-term gaining phases because it builds habits. It means you're lean. You don't have to do any cut phases. They need to be confident that they can push up on like long-term gaining. And the thing is, see if they put in the groundwork now, then they'll build the foundations better. But you need to turn, like, I will turn around to people and be like, I know you want to lean gain, but you have to diet. Like, that's it. Now, if they diet for 16 weeks and they fuck about, I'll just throw them into lean gaining phase because I can't be arsed listening to them. But I will frame the importance of it first because I go to them, you haven't got lean enough. We're going to just bulk you because you're not nailing it. I'm going to let you know a lot of what you gain here isn't going to be as lean muscle as I'd like. And you're going to need to tidy that up at some stage because there's a certain level of body fat where I won't bulk you anymore. So you're cutting yourself short. So I just frame it like as I am the coach. This is the right move, and say why. You need to give reasons why it's important. You're going to get more muscle. You're going to get more in the long run now from this. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You need to be blunt there. You need to be fucking, authority is the key there. It's like if we tell you to do something with sales and then we let you sort of increase in, no, like this is how it's done. Otherwise you give them like wiggle room. I don't give wiggle room. That's what they're paying you for. They're paying you for clarity, vision, decision. And if somebody has an issue with that, then you're straight up. But do it for 16 weeks. And then if they fuck about, they should have it done in 4 weeks anyway. I give them time for 6 weeks tough. That's it. And then that's it. And we're done cutting. We're going up. And it's going to make you gain so much more muscle. Whereas if I bulk you won't even gain that much. And I highlight the importance of, like, doesn't matter if you're in a deficit or a surplus for 6 weeks, you'll gain the same amount of muscle because you're adapting. Joe, highlight all this. But yeah, that's pretty much straightforward. Just be blunt. I would always rather be true to myself and what I believe is the best decision for them, because then I can stand behind that. Whereas if you let them guide and then they get a shit result, you're gonna feel like, well, I didn't even coach them. They coached themselves.
Okay, but it's like sometimes, like, I've tried that, like, where I say, like, right, give me fucking 6 weeks proper dieting. We'll go from there. We'll build whatever. But it's like they just completely go against me, and it's like, oh, I had a coach before that did that and they didn't like it, and now I'm doing the same thing with them.
But see, then I turn around and I go, your last coach must have been shit because they didn't do the job right. I'm doing it right. I'm very blunt. Like, honestly, I think the onboard and the roadmap, as Liam said there, will help massively. If you're fighting this friction and you cannot iron that out, which you should be because you're doing the mindset stuff, like, you need to turn around and go, why are you in the position you're in? Because you keep choosing short-term pleasure because you don't want to get leaner to grow because you feel skinny for 6 weeks. Shut the fuck up, get leaner, and then you're going to grow far better. You keep picking short-term pleasure over long-term gain. Do you know what I mean? So focus on the short-term pain of, yes, I need to get lean. Yes, this sucks, but it adds up. So Really key on that. See, otherwise, if they keep fighting you, just bulk them. Just fucking bulk them. Just, do you know what I mean? Just bulk. Just who
Okay.
gives a fuck then, Joe? You've done your part and go, look, this isn't what I would do, but I will bulk you then, Joe. Just say it straight. And then it's not on you. And like last question, we need to move on, but I've got an ask. Go ahead, Faker.
Sorry, I'll keep it real quick here. So see with men, I'd have absolutely no issue at all being a fucking drill sergeant. I'm probably too hard on people at times, and I would really push people and hold them accountable, that kind of stuff. I know it sounds stupid, but I find that so much harder with female clients. And I know that it's just like a psychological thing, but I just find it harder being really harsh and being really blunt, like, no, fucking wise up and get that fucking done. Do you know what I mean? Any tips at all for that? Because I know you have a lot of female. I don't know. That's why I'm asking. I'm not too sure.
Your answer's on yourself there. Whether it's how you're afraid to speak to women, whether it's the fact you need to frame that because you're actually doing them an injustice by not deserving them because you're just lying to them.
I know, yeah, I know that completely.
So in my opinion, I'm actually more blunt with females and I'm more direct because I tell them, I'm like, out of all my clients, the ones that are more likely to lie are females. The ones that work less harder are usually females. The ones that struggle to get results are females as a result of that. So I am more blunt with my females because they don't hear it as often. And that is the one reason why I get results with females, is because I am willing to tell you the truth and what needs done, regardless of how you feel. So really, really key.
No,
I know that's but you need to ask yourself why, and then you're just imposing that limited belief. And just start telling yourself the females are males. Just tell yourself, I'm just going to treat this like a meal.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you.
No problem at all. That's straightforward. I had that, but going away from the friendship relationship and more towards a client. Yeah, exactly. It just needs to be like business. Just treat them all as one. Like, it doesn't matter if they've got a vagina or they've got fucking a cock. It just, what is going to be the best decision for them? We will wrap that there, Stephen, if you're happy enough. Thank you everybody for that. We will have a downloadable of the roadmap. If you can give me a little bit of feedback on if you think that's going to help retention, if you can just tell me that you're green, you're good to implement that, you're going to put it in. So just so I know you're good, or rate it 1 to 10, how you find that training, just so I know that you're all right, or yeah, good, green, bang on. That's all on the money. And yeah, massively help. Good, because retention's key. I want every lead coming in to be managed better. Big time. Just need tailored for niche. 2 steps Lumen have as a tab. Love that. Yeah, good. It's gonna fucking be, it's a game changer. Maybe I should go back to my route. Owen, you wrote to me privately there, Owen McGuire. So yeah, you don't give them the roadmap on the onboarding email. Yeah, or you can put it in their tabs. You could just link it in there as part of the Loom, the onboarding video as well. Don't worry at all, Dargan, as well, about starting with a softer approach and then down and up. Tell them you do that. Tell them you start soft and then you go in fucking as you know them. You're not afraid to cause friction because you know they trust you now. Do you know what I mean? You turn around them and say, look, level 1 is habits, routines, behaviors. Level 2 is where I turn around you and I tell you what you really fucking need to hear. Do you know what I mean? Agree, Liam, better results, less stress. Do get a look over that, Paddy. You will find that very good. Taylor to me and we're golden, right? That's perfect. Look, thank you all for the questions, the input. The energy's been fucking great today. Really, really happy with this. Stephen, if you had a client tell me you couldn't be bothered doing steps, man's like 50 pounds down, it's smart. Yeah, exact. But see, I would rather that. I would rather hammer people and then they go to them. You're paying me for accountability. I'm going to be hard on you. If you want me to ease off, tell me. But it's my job to get more out of you. And he actually thanked me after. Yeah, because if they're, like I always say to people, if you were doing it by yourself, you get a 5 out of 10 result. I want 10 out of 10. So if I push you and we get an 8, Joe, that's all you want. Thank you all for the effort, the energy. Today has been great so far. We're going to keep pushing. Stephen, you can take over. I need a drink.